So we're just jumping on the recording after Yuna had herself a little crying session.
I know.
What happened, Yuna?
Like, I don't know. It's never happened to you, right? Whenever I cut shallot, like Australian shallot, I cry a lot.
Specifically the Australian one.
Specifically the Australian one, the massive, huge one. It's like when you cut onion, like kind of crying. It happened. I know when everyone cuts onion, your eyes get watery, right? But not many people's eyes get watery like when cutting shallot.
You just have a very rare superpower.
Yeah, I think so.
Very useless superpower.
I know. But that means for the next cutting shallots task, it will be maths.
Well, next and all of the previous ones from today.
I know. No, I cut some as well. Come on, don't take all the credits.
Maybe I've built up an immunity to having tears from cutting shallots.
I think so.
From all this time.
Maybe because you're taller.
Because I'm taller. Hold on. I need to hear the logic behind this.
Yeah, it makes sense because I'm shorter. I'm 20 centimeters shorter. So when the shallots air or whatever stuff.
So hang on.
When the shallot gas coming out, it hits my eyes because I'm shorter. Because you're taller. So when the gas coming to your height, it's already diluted.
So do you think my hands are at the same level as your hands when you cut, but my head's higher up? I'm just trying to envision this in my head.
Yeah, you have long torso than me.
I have a long torso?
Yeah.
You're making me sound like a cartoon character right now.
You do.
Hey, this is Matt.
And this is Yuna.
And this is Our Three Things, a podcast about joyful things. And our joyful things. Something like that. This might be a bit of a wobbly episode and a bit shorter. Because I am feeling some side effects of something.
Of something.
I don't want to spoil it because it's actually my first thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's just get into it. I don't want to
get into it.
I don't want to dilly-dally today because I am tired.
So Matt, what's your first thing?
Well, thank you for asking, Yuna.
Uh-huh.
My first thing is
what?
My second vaccine dose that I finally got.
Yay! Fully vaccinated here.
Well, half of us are.
Half of us.
Almost,
yes.
yeah.
Almost.
Finally got it. Anyone who's not in Australia listening to this is probably like, wait, why'd you wait so long?
Yeah, exactly.
Let me tell you. It was not by choice.
Yes.
As we've talked about previously, I think. But yeah, finally got my second dose yesterday. And that's why the podcast is a little delayed this weekend as well. But definitely feeling the effects a bit. My arm feels pretty dead and sore. But I'm just glad to finally have that done and checked off.
Yeah. But for a lot of people, you just have sore arms, and that's very minimum side effect for second dose,
That's true.
So you're actually really lucky.
That's true.
You don't have fever, you don't have chill, and now you're fully vaccinated.
I feel like I'm missing out a little bit on an experience.
No.
Like I was talking to some people who they were feeling something, 2 to 3 days afterwards, had to take off work and stuff. And
yeah,
I don't know if I'm going to be able to swing that this time because I just don't feel it.
Yeah, probably it's going to take effect in 2 days. Check out tomorrow. Maybe it's coming.
Yuna just winked at me.
I know.
Because you can't see that. Yeah, we'll see. But anyway, I'm just glad that they're finally stepping it up here in Australia. And hopefully we'll come out. We're in week? Well, it's the same week as our podcast. So week 10 of lockdown at the moment, I think.
Yeah.
Not really getting any better here. But hopefully getting vaccinated will help clear the path towards that.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I think we're just doing our bit to protect the vulnerables.
I think so, yeah.
Which is important. Which is you have to do that as a society.
I think so.
Yeah. So I'm really glad Matt did that.
Yeah. That's it.
That's it.
That's my first thing. I'm going to keep it very short today.
Yeah, that's good.
Just happy to finally have that done.
Uh-huh.
All right. Well, Yuna, what's your first thing today?
So actually my first thing is also related to Matt's second dose. Because getting second dose is a big thing in Australia, right? And to celebrate Matt's second dose, I have ordered fine dining at home. And
What does that mean exactly?
well, so what exactly mean is, so you normally go to those fancy restaurants, have those fine dinings, great service, nice food, nice presentation.
And just to be clear, when Yuna says fine dining, what we usually do, I don't want to say usually because that makes it sound
Not
like
usually.
rich snobby people.
Special occasions, like
Special
getting a second
occasions, so
dose.
a few times a year.
Yes.
Before pandemic, we would do maybe like 2 or 3 times a year.
Yeah.
The kind of place where you don't actually like look at a menu. It's just sort of a multiple course. What's it called? Like a degustation?
The degustation or banquet, just
Banquet, yeah.
Yeah, it's you get a little bit of everything, sampling everything in a very nice restaurant with what they have.
Yeah.
And Matt asked really good question. What's your question again? What's fine dining at home?
Yeah, what is that?
So for me, it's kind of like you're having the same food, but at the same time, you are the waiter, and as well as the chef.
And the dishwasher.
And dishwasher.
Yeah.
And
That's not really a good sell, I don't think, for the experience.
No, but I think it's
like
very
that.
fun couple activity because it's more interactive and you cook together, and it stages out like between meals, which is makes you more satisfying. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes if you eat too much food at the same time, you feel stuffed. But because when you do fine dining at home, you have to cook at the same time and cleaning. So you actually have like 10-20 minutes in between each course, which is great.
Yeah, so just to give some specifics to that. So last night we did one at a place that we would normally go to, this sort of like a modern Chinese fusion place in Sydney.
Yeah.
And what they did is it was very similar food to what you would get if they were open and we were able to go dine in. But it was like all separated into boxes, and they had, how many, like say 7 or 8 courses, something like that?
10.
Was it 10 courses
I
total?
think 10 courses.
Including like the little side dishes as well.
Including those side dish and dessert and biscuits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and they have like a pamphlet that explains basically most of the stuff is already either pre-cooked or it just needs to be added to heat. So it's very simple. When we say cook, like everything's chopped and marinated and all that stuff. But what you can do is you just go through the menu. You take out the first thing, you cook it. You can do a couple at a time. Sit down, eat, and then go back and do the next one.
And do you know what's important? What's important is they not only have detailed instruction, they have the pictures of each finished dish and to tell you exactly how many minutes you need to prepare, which is excellent, you know, because you know exactly what a dish should look like.
Or at least you can feel ashamed that yours doesn't look the same as theirs.
I know.
But that's okay.
But I think it's really fun for us because it's very interactive. And one thing I think we're really happy is the taste. It's pretty similar as the one we get in the restaurant, right? Very similar.
Close enough.
Yeah, it's the second best thing we can get if you are stuck in lockdown and can't go out, right?
Yeah, and you want to treat yourself to something.
Yeah. So I would recommend that, and I feel like it's this makes me really happy. Feel like, well, I can do something special when I'm in lockdown and stay at home, especially for like foodie like us, Matt and I. We love food, and to be able to have this experience at home with fine dining, it's great. So that's my first thing. So Matt, what's your second thing?
So my second thing, I have one running related thing on here.
Yeah.
So it's actually a person. It's a woman named Courtney DeWalter, and you're probably not going to know who that is.
Who is she?
Yeah, so this is someone that anyone who is into kind of the ultra endurance running and like ultra marathons will probably know the name.
Yeah.
So she is one of, well, I don't think this is controversial to say. In my opinion, she's one of the currently active greatest ultramarathon runners.
Why
men or women.
Why be controversial to say that?
Well, because when you say someone is like the best or like the greatest of all time or anything, there's always people who disagree with you in sports.
Oh, right.
But in my opinion, she's just like one of my favorites, not just for the results, but also like her personality and her whole thing. So the reason that I bring her up specifically is because there was a very famous annual race just this past weekend called the UTMB. It's the Ultra Trail du Mont Blanc.
Where is it?
Which is in Europe.
In Europe?
Yep. So just a quick primer on the event. It's very famous. So it's 171.5 kilometer, which is just a bit over 100 miles race. That's
175 kilometers.
Kilometers, yeah. It's like a just over like 100 miles.
100 miles, okay.
And it basically is a loop around the Alps that goes through 3 countries. So it actually goes through France, Italy, and Switzerland, beginning and ending at a little town called Chamonix in France.
Wow, that's really beautiful scenery. Just thinking about those destinations.
It's extremely rugged. It's actually a famous hiking trail as well that you can do. And some people will do like a multi-day hike around it. But this is like a probably one of the most competitive like ultra marathon mountain races in the whole world, right? At least right now. It's most well known, at least. It's not like, I wouldn't say it's like the most difficult, but it's probably the most like
scenery.
No. I was gonna say it's like the most elite people.
Elite people. Wow. Yeah. Like professionals.
Yeah, like the professionals who are doing like the most like crazy times and best athletes basically in the sport.
Right.
Yeah. So it has a field of about 2,400 runners, and it just actually kicked off last Friday. And it's actually a whole week. There's like a bunch of other smaller races that go around the same time. But this is sort of like
one of the major ones.
The big one.
The big one. Right. How long has this race been around?
That's a good question. So UTMB it was first held in 2003. So it's not super old. But I mean, like, but the actual like the path itself, like the trail is well known, and it's been around for probably like decades and maybe centuries for all I know, because that's a very old historical part of the world. But the actual event itself has been around since 2003.
Yeah.
And it was the last one it was held before this year was 2019, so it wasn't held in 2020 just due to all the pandemic stuff and the timing. So this was a really like highly anticipated one coming back. So just going back to Courtney for a second.
Yeah.
She actually won the race her first time entering it in 2019.
Yes.
So this year, essentially, like basically, first of all, she won the race this year again in 2021. She was leading essentially the entire time. So I do want to just give a quick call out to like the other women who were racing with her. So there's a woman from France. I'm going to butcher this name. Katie Shida. Another French woman named Camille Bruyas. Beth Pascal, who's another famous woman. Audrey Tengai from France. Ragna Debutz from who's Dutch. And then one of the most competitive ones was this woman from Switzerland named Mimi Kotka. So she was actually probably the most threatening through the entire time for Courtney's first place. But essentially, except for like a couple moments earlier in the race, Courtney was basically ahead the entire time. And by the end, I believe she had won by about 40 or 50 minutes, which is pretty massive.
Wow, that's massive.
Yeah, so her final time was 22 hours, 30 minutes, 54 seconds, which for this race is ridiculous. Like she set a new record for women by far. She beat another a record that had held since 2013 from a woman named Rory Bazio, who was I think was also the last American woman to win the race before Courtney. So she set the new record on also like a longer and more difficult course since then. So she just did, she totally smashed it. You can see a picture there. She finishes like smiling.
Wow, it feels she's very refreshed.
Yeah. That's how she always finishes all her races, and she's. Like, so I'm bringing her up this weekend because of this recent result, but honestly, like she's been one of my favorite athletes for several years now.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna go a couple of highlights for her. So she in 2017, kind of one of her big ones that made her popular in this world was winning a race called the Moab 240, which is a 240 mile race.
240 mile.
Yep. So just for context on that. That's about 386 kilometers.
Jesus, so that's very long.
Exactly, yeah. So, and she finished that. This is one in the U.S. She finished that one in 2 days, 9 hours, and 59 minutes.
Yeah.
Finishing first overall. So, basically, she won the race. Like she won the women's race, but also won the overall race, which is
impressive.
Very rare for these kind of races. Which is a whole nother topic. But yeah, generally, like that's that. You don't see that. And in that race, she beat the guy behind her by about 10 hours.
10 hours?
So she was like way ahead, yeah.
Wow, that's impressive.
And then she won a race called the Western States Endurance Run in 2018, which is another 100-mile race. At the time, that was the second fastest time by a woman in that event. I talked about the Western States Run a few episodes ago, I think.
Yeah.
Another really, really crazy one is there's this race called the Biggs Backyard Ultra, which is basically what you call a race of attrition. So there's no set distance goal or time. It's literally just like a lap that you go around, like a very short lap, and it's basically the last person who can keep going.
Oh wow! That's brutal.
Yeah, and so she ended up winning that one by outlasting everyone else essentially. Or sorry, no, she actually won second in that. She lost out to I think one guy right ahead of her. But she completed 279.268 miles.
Jesus.
Yeah. And she placed second place in the Tahoe 200, which is another 200-mile race. She placed second overall in that. But she did beat the previous women's course record by 18 hours on that course.
That's very...
She was named Ultra Runner of the Year in 2019 by Ultra Running Magazine after winning 9 of the 12 races that she entered, including 2 where she finished first overall, even above the men.
Wow.
And in 2019, one of her big ones was, like I said, winning UTMB and then winning it again just now this year. So there's a lot. Like, she has a lot of those sort of like extreme distance accolades to her name.
Yeah.
But what's so special about her also is her approach to the sport is very like positive and loose and not super serious. Like, she doesn't take herself too seriously.
Yes.
So you'll see in the picture that I showed you, Yuna, that she wears like these like this is kind of her trademark. She wears like these long baggy like basketball style shorts.
Yes,
like
I know.
You might like see like in like the NBA or something almost like.
Yeah, she just wears really casual, like you would wear running on the street. She's not wearing like this ellipse athletes runners, like we wear those tight shirts and shorts.
Yeah, exactly. It's just different. Like very casual looking clothing.
Very chill. Yeah.
Very chill. She pretty much every single picture that I've seen of her, she has like a smile on her face.
Probably this is more comfortable, to be honest.
It might be. Yeah, I've never considered that.
Maybe you should try that.
Maybe I should try that. I don't know. One thing that I like about her, this is an older interview I watched, but she talks about how the nutrition she uses is not what you'd consider like typical race food or healthy food. Yeah. So like one of her favorite things to do is eat like a cake frosting.
Oh,
like out of the jar, like while she's racing. Just because it's like pure sugar, and like she loves like, I think like candy is like her thing. Like she likes eating
she loves dessert.
Skittles and and every interview I've seen with her, she's like a good like ambassador for the sport, I think, and very inspiring for both men and women, really. Yeah. Yeah. So
I feel inspired.
Yeah.
To watch her.
So it's just cool to see that she's continuing to dominate in such like a positive, happy way.
I know. You just get better when you're getting older, right?
It could be. She's not that old. I think she's
not
like
that old,
36.
But she's older than before.
That's true. Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah.
So that's my second thing. Yuna, what is your second thing?
So my second thing is a thing that everyone would have seen before. So my second thing is
they wouldn't have seen our version of it.
No, they wouldn't see our version, but you have your own version. But for me, I really appreciate the beautiful sunset I see every day. The reason I say this brings me joy is because since we all like working from home, right? Like roughly around like 5:30 every day. When I look out through our window or balcony, I just saw this most amazing nature scenery of the beautiful sunset. And that makes me feel, wow, the wonder of the nature is truly amazing, because that would makes you want to really appreciate what's beautiful in life and makes you want to stop and pause and to look at your surroundings, even when you're like stuck at home. But I'm just feel really grateful we have this scenery from our balcony, and what's even amazing is it's different every time. You know, and sometimes what makes me happy is like one, to focus on work around like 5:36. I forgot the time, right? But when I look out towards the balcony, I saw Matt sitting there with a cup of tea or coffee with Mocha and just really enjoying the sunset. That makes me smile and feel happy. And since I saw Matt doing that, so I started say, okay, maybe I would just take 5-10 minutes break and just go to the balcony and look at those beautiful views.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things. Sometimes, depending on like the clouds, you get like, it's one of those blink and you'll miss it sort of things, because you get those ridiculous colors and like the big pink
different
streaks
color,
in the sky.
Different shade of pink.
Oh yeah.
And different type of clouds. And you know what's magical is for those beautiful sunset, right? The most beautiful moment probably only lasts for like 5-10 minutes.
That's exactly
maximum.
Yeah, exactly.
So what that teaches me saying, well, make sure appreciate things while they're around. Just pay attention and pause.
Oh, I don't take a lesson from it. I just think it's pretty.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
But your thing sounds way more deep than mine.
I'm trying to be more inspiring.
I'm just sort of staring at it and say, ooh, pretty.
Okay. Well,
Yuna's like a philosopher with her sunset.
Yes, I'm more like a philosopher. Like when I look at beautiful sunset, I was like, we are so lucky to be alive in this world and be able to see these things in different shape or different shape or format. Like every day is different, and it's just so beautiful to look at them, and it's free.
I was gonna say that actually. To be honest, like I like going to like art museums and things like that. But honestly, like I've never seen a painting in any of those that wowed me as much as just like looking at like a really nice sunset. Is that weird to say?
Yeah, it's weird to say.
Okay, well.
Some artists' work is really good. Like remember the one we went to before all the lockdown, the immersive arts of Monet and Van Gogh.
Oh, Monet and his friends.
And his friends.
Yeah.
I really love those paintings. You don't?
I don't dislike them. Okay. I'm just saying like if you're talking about like value for money.
Oh yeah.
I mean the sunset is like infinite.
Sunset's free.
Right?
Yeah. So the reason I put this as second thing is I really want to like urge people like who stuck in lockdown like us, maybe
or even if you're not,
even if you're not, just no matter sunrise, sunset, sometimes just pause for 5 minutes from what you're doing right now and look towards the sky, and then you will be amazed how beautiful nature is. So that's my second thing. Hope it inspires you for more joyful thing in your life.
You managed to make even a sunset sound like an ad.
Yes.
That's like your skill.
Yeah, I think so. I think my skill is to make everything I love to be commercialized for free.
Well, it won't be free if you commercialize it.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Keep sunsets free for everyone.
Yeah, that's true. We all need sunset. So that's my second thing. Matt, what's your last thing?
So my last thing actually happened last week after we recorded last week's episode, but I've been enjoying it all week.
Yeah.
And that is Mocha's new haircut.
Yes.
Newish haircut, a week-old haircut now.
Yeah.
He's grown into it a little bit since then. So for those who don't know, which if you're listening to this episode, I'd be surprised because we've mentioned him pretty much every episode. But we have a little cavoodle, and he has very curly, thick hair.
I know.
That tends to get first of all, it grows very quickly.
Oh.
I mean, it's gorgeous color. Like he's a handsome little dog, but the hair grows really fast. The fur grows really fast, and he tends to get like mats as well. So like because it's so curly.
Yeah.
So he'll get like little matted furs if you don't brush it too much or anything.
Yeah.
And so he has to get haircuts.
Yes.
Fairly often, like grooming fairly often. And like maybe like once every like 3-4 months, I think.
Yeah, once every 3 months would be better.
Yeah.
I think.
And so like last time we did this, which was back earlier in the year before we were in lockdown again, I had found a groomer that I really liked locally.
Yeah.
And I think they did a great job, and like it was fairly cheap.
Not cheap.
Okay. Well, how about good value?
Well, okay.
I think it was good value. I would happily pay for them. And I was especially happy because we had tried another groomer like longer ago.
Oh, I don't like
it.
It's so short.
That was not good at all.
No.
Yeah. I didn't mind. I mean, the shortness was bad, but I also just didn't like that we clearly didn't want them to do it a certain way.
And
I know. They made his head look like a cotton ball.
Yeah, I don't like the cotton ball look.
Yeah, like the kind of like the frou-frou poodle kind of look, which I didn't like at all.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I never go to those ones. There's another one that I tried recently a few months ago that I liked quite a bit.
Yeah.
And he was due for another one, but we can't really do that because of the lockdown. So like all the businesses are pretty much closed unless it's like essential things. And so he was getting really, really matted and I almost said mangy. He wasn't mangy, but like he needed like a haircut. He looked like a little mop, a curly mop that needed to be brushed.
Yes.
I think most mops actually have less mats than Mocha did.
I know.
So Yuna finally decided, oh, well, I don't want to wait for this. I'm just going to cut it myself.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what she did. And I say she because she really did it. I didn't really do that much. I gave him his bath before, but Yuna, we have like a table thing that you can put him on top.
We have a full set of pet salon foldable table.
Okay, when you say it like that, it sounds like some ridiculous thing.
No, it's pretty good.
It's a sturdy table with like a thing on top that you can kind of put like a leash around him so he stays on the table.
He stays on the table.
And then
strong recommended.
We're not no ads here. And then Yuna also had bought a set of like grooming like scissors and clippers, like the electric razor and the different kind of scissors and a comb.
I have full set.
Full set.
Yeah,
yes.
And including the nail clip as well, everything.
Oh yeah, the little nail like polisher grinder thingy, which he doesn't mind too much actually.
Yeah, actually that one's good.
Yeah. So she spent the whole day doing it.
Not whole day, 2.5 hours.
Oh, okay, whole afternoon doing it.
Yes.
And he came out looking pretty fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how was he during that?
He was actually pretty calm, I would say, but just for certain parts of his body, he doesn't like me to touch, like his feet. But apart from that, it's so much better, and for me, it's so much easier as well. Because I remember the last time it's actually we cut him together. We don't have this table. We have to sit on the ground.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. We sat on the ground for like 5 hours.
For 5 hours and my back hurts. And Mocha just keep moving all the time. He's not stable. And that haircut is not very even. But for this one, I pretty much use the clipper, the electronic one all the way, right? It looks so good, so smooth. And I'm impressed about my work as well because I didn't follow any tutorial. I just cut by the way I felt like Mocha should look like. And he looks so cute as well. He looks like a dog.
He looks like a dog again, yeah. You can actually see the shape of his nose again. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm actually pretty happy and like my back doesn't hurt. It's not too much trouble. And the clean's very easy as well because we have all his fur. We have like a one soft tablecloth underneath. It captures all the fur. Yeah. So I'm pretty happy about this. And we save money as well.
Yeah.
It's free.
Yeah. And I like him when he has shorter hair, to be honest, because he like you said, he looks more like an actual dog and not a mop.
Yeah. So it's good. And he's pretty happy, I believe.
Yeah, I think he's more comfortable with it because he likes to jump around. As soon as we finish, he like runs around and I think he's faster too. He's like
he's definitely faster.
More aerodynamic.
More like more like athletic now. And I feel like for anyone, if you want to try home grooming like us, I would strongly recommend you just get a table, like a pet salon table or anything just to secure your dog so he doesn't move around. That would save you so much time and make your life easier when you try to do hair salon thing.
And not force you to get a physio appointment for your back afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So that's my third thing. Just something little that has it's been nice to see him not look like a homeless dog this week. Yuna, what is your last thing?
So my last thing is, I think everyone has this as well, most people. It's I really appreciate my online streaming service.
Oh, do tell.
So the reason I say this is because we pretty much subscribed everything.
Do we have everything?
Almost.
We don't have Stan. I think that's the only one we're missing.
Yeah, but you can see most of things from Stan in Binge.
Binge, was it? Yeah, I can't keep up with all the ones.
Binge is very similar. I had Stan before because I like to watch Friends, but Friends is on Binge now.
Friends is on Netflix too, I think.
Yeah, and Friends is in Netflix as well. And so like we have Binge. Binge is for like all the HBO series you can watch there. So
so you don't have to get like the Foxtel.
Yeah, you don't have to get Foxtel, HBO, like Game of Thrones there. Like it's pretty good. And then we watched the Mayor of Easttown as well by Kate Winslet.
Which one? Oh, Mayor of Easttown. Yeah, that was a great show.
Good. And then we also have Disney Plus. The reason I love Disney Plus is it has all the Marvel related TV series and movies.
I have a problem with Disney Plus.
I know. That's the issue, but it's just time you have to wait. Because Matt is not happy about when you pay Disney Plus like $10 per month. You have to pay $30 on top if you want to watch a recent movie like the Black Widow.
It's such a shameless... I feel like I'm turning your thing negative, but there's such a shameless cash grab.
No, but I think it's reasonable because like it's the same price if you go to a movie.
It's more expensive, cinema. I think.
No, Sam.
But isn't it $30 like to watch Black Widow right now?
Yeah, just $30, right? But if you go to cinema, for two people it's $30 plus popcorns and waters that would cost you $40.
On a giant screen with good sound.
I know. That's the difference.
That's the one thing that annoys me about Disney Plus, but
the things like, because I love watch Marvel movies and all Marvel related TV series, I was following the Loki, and you can only watch that on Disney Plus. So I'm really happy, and the whole reason I get Disney Plus because Matt, I think it's during like last year lockdown or it's Christmas time, we took a whole December off, and I want to do a Marvel 22 movie marathon.
Didn't you get it originally because we watched the Hamilton movie, the recording of Hamilton?
That's true. Yeah. Yes. The reason I get it is because we want to watch Hamilton because
which has since resulted in much more money spent on Hamilton related viewings.
I know.
In person when we could.
But the thing, we want to get that because I remember when I used to be able to travel in the US, the Hamilton is on, but I'm not able to get a ticket.
No chance.
There's no chance for any tickets. Even you have the money, just no tickets, right? So I was both Matt and we love Hamilton, right? And when we saw that it's out on Disney Plus, we jumped on straight away and things there. Normally people just get for free subscription for 7 days and cancel, right? But then we decided to watch all the Marvel movie marathon. So we basically stayed, and then Disney Plus just get me hooked on all the new Marvel TV series. So I just keep on stay with them.
Yeah.
So that's the two subscription, and then for Matt, he has the Netflix, which I believe most of people in Australia has, right? And the reason I love to watch Netflix because Netflix has its own produced show. We both love fantasies. And Matt get me hooked into The Witchers.
The Witcher, yeah. It was
by Henry Cavill. So good.
See, now I talked about this, two or three episodes back, and now you're finally coming to see the light after we watched the show.
It's so good. And then the other Netflix show is called Shadow and Bones, which we love.
Oh, yeah.
Both as well. And plus all the reality show as well.
Well, hold on. So I was going to put you on the spot here because I'm looking at your notes today for preparing for this one.
Yeah.
And you've listed 3 shows.
Oh, yeah.
And no, hang on. Don't say it out loud because what I would like you to do is explain why this is the sample size you went with.
Yes.
And what is a common thread running through these shows. So we have The Witcher, Cruella, which we just watched the movie of that recently.
Uh-huh.
And Housewives. I'm assuming you mean our favorite Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Yes.
Now, hang on. What's the shared universe between these 3?
We watched all of these last week.
That's the best you got?
Yeah.
No. So give me something. What do you think is like the shared narrative element of these 3?
Oh, crazy people.
Crazy people. I guess I can see that.
No.
So
fantasy.
Okay. So
no, it's not fantasy.
Who are the well, I mean, it's kind of fantasy. I don't know that I'd call Real Housewives a true reality. It's sort of a fantasy.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do this then. You say crazy people.
Uh-huh.
What are the who are the 3 crazy people from each of these shows?
Cruella is Cruella.
Sure.
Crazy.
Yeah.
The Witcher, who is crazy? The lady is crazy. What's her name?
Yennefer?
Yennefer.
Is she crazy?
She's not crazy?
No, I don't think she's crazy.
If she's not crazy, then Henry Cavill is funny.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Funny, she's crazy.
All right, and who about Housewives?
Oh, yeah. Everyone's crazy.
Everyone?
Maybe Dorit.
Dorit.
Or Sutton.
Which one?
Sutton?
Oh, the impossibly rich Georgia girl?
Yeah. Everyone's kind of crazy in different period of time. Oh, Brandy's crazy. The craziest of the all.
Oh, from the old seasons, yeah. Well, now we're getting into like some Beverly Hills deep cuts here, so I don't know if everyone will be able to relate to this.
So what's the similarity of those shows?
I actually think Cruella would get along well with the Housewives. She seems pretty similar.
She's very similar.
I feel like Cruella is what would happen if the Housewives didn't have like an outlet and all their friends. Like if one of the Housewives had her mother killed by Dalmatian, spoiler alert, killed by Dalmatian dogs.
You're bad. It just come out. You ruin the experience for other people.
And became that's the beginning of the movie. I didn't actually give the real spoiler.
Okay.
I feel like that's like what they would become as Cruella.
Yeah.
So they have the same personality.
Yeah, I felt kind of craziness.
And then somebody would probably hire Geralt to go and take them down.
Yeah,
at some
yeah,
point.
I agree.
Because they're monsters.
Yeah. And the reason, like I say, is online streaming service is just so convenient compared to old times, when you have to go to, which I haven't been to, like a video, like the tape renting store or DVD or something.
You're going like way far back.
Yeah, that's the old times, right?
You're celebrating how convenient it is compared to 20 years ago.
Before Netflix, what was life before Netflix? I don't even know.
Well,
do you have to do like BT torrents thing, like just illegal download?
I'm not going to discuss that with you on a podcast.
Sorry.
That can be accessible by anyone worldwide.
Okay. I'm just saying it makes things so convenient.
You do know that Netflix used to not be a digital thing,
I don't
right?
know. Netflix used to be video renting stuff. I'm just amazed. Like,
well, no, and you because you actually had to like get the DVD in, and then you had to like mail it back and then get the next one.
I think so, because I do remember I there was time like long before Netflix, I used to need to borrow DVD from or Blu-ray from my friends to watch stuff. But now everything's just a subscription away, which is great.
Well, and then before that, we would go to what's called Blockbuster Video.
Yeah.
In US, which is, for anyone listening who's American, well, this will be maybe like a throwback for you. I don't know if any still exists now. There might be like one is like a museum or something. But yeah, it was like you actually just go in and there was just shelves lined full of, kind of like what you see in like the libraries have it now.
But to be honest, right, all these activities, it's actually not long ago, probably like 10, 15 years ago.
I mean, I don't think the last time I was probably on a Blockbuster was in high school, I guess.
Yeah, 15 years ago,
so 15,
right?
15
so it's
years
not
ago.
that long ago. Can you imagine that?
I mean, not that long in like the grand scheme of the earth, I guess. But yeah.
No, just on the grand scheme of 2000, you know?
Well, on that topic, I saw something recently that said something like, what was it? Like the current year is further away from, what was it? I think 19. Wait, here it is. Okay. So this was a tweet that I think just went viral from I don't know where it started, but it goes, did you realize that 1980 and 2021 are just as far apart as 1980 and 1939?
Yeah.
When you think about it like that.
Yeah.
To me, that, I don't know why, I know it's just math, but that like kind of blew my mind a bit, thinking about like how far away that actually was.
Yeah, but I feel like, but I would say the difference between those two periods, right, is I fell from 1930 to 1980. It's the technology has exponentially grown physically, but for now between 1990 to 2020. The technology is more like a digital. It's more about
more
consumer.
change, I think.
No, but it's more consumer based. There's no like groundbreaking flying cars and human migrates to Mars kind of revolutionary, like evolution.
You have very high expectation for the march of human advancement.
Yeah, I do. I have hope.
I think that's the Chinese in you.
Yes, probably. Watch too much sci-fi.
Well, I get we can't go to Mars and we don't have flying cars.
I know.
But at least
we can't travel back in time.
But at least
as well.
I wouldn't want to do that.
No, I go travel to the future.
We travel to the future every day.
Yeah.
It's one day at a time.
I know, but I want to see what it looks like 1,000 years later. You know,
I don't want to see that.
It's like what I see in
I'm perfectly happy with how we are now.
Okay. Well, yeah.
We went way off topic from
I know.
from talking about streaming services.
Yeah, I'm just appreciate that. I feel like people complaining Netflix make you binge a lot, but don't forget it makes your life more convenient and
now coronavirus makes us binge a lot
and gives you the option to have those entertainment on your fingertip. Isn't that great?
As long as you don't binge too much. Yes.
Yes, exactly. So that's my third thing.
So that's our things for today, and I want to wrap this up because I'm feeling very tired. I feel like my side effect for my second dose is starting to kick in a bit more than before. But it was good to still jump in and talk about some joyful things, even if I think we went way off tangent today.
I know.
But that's okay.
That's okay. It's always fun.
Always fun. So thank you for listening. You can always find all of our episodes at our3things.com. And if you enjoy listening, then you can leave a review if you like on Apple Podcasts.
Yes.
And let us know how you think about the show. I
Yeah.
feel tired right now. I don't know where I was going with that sentence.
I know.
You can find us wherever podcasts are, I guess. I don't know.
Yes.
Something. All right. Anything else, Yuna?
No, I think we can wrap it up. Someone needs a nap.
I do. But before I go and rest my head, I just
Yeah.
want to remind everyone.
Our fourth thing
Is you.
you.
Good night.
Good night. Bye.
手中雕刻神话，刀锋千转蜿蜒成花，生命中的他是恰碰碰出人家，春光绕过发梢红衫，刺绣灯塔，眉目刚的那座庄稼，红颜留下枕上白发。